I'm making this additional video because it came to my attention during the chat session on Thursday evening that there was a mistake in slide number 15 of module 12. So first, I apologize for the inconvenience. So just let me explain what that mistake is. So here I've shown what I'm showing is an object of water which is surrounded by fat, and so this is just a generic or a false image that I've created. And the original slide had the gradient polarity in the other direction. Okay, and in that case, that did not match the banding artifacts. So, because for the fat chemical shift, the fat will move towards the lower frequencies. So now that I have the gradient in this direction, I have the banding, the bright band here is correct, because fat here will move towards the lower frequencies. So if you look at the gradient on this side of the image, we have high frequencies, and then as we move along the x direction, frequencies go down. Okay, and now the center is a Larmor frequency, and since we have a negative gradient, our frequencies are going below the Larmor frequency. So the main point is the fat will shift towards lower frequencies, and in so doing, now if you recall from I believe it was the previous slide, the spin density, the encoded spin density that we see as a result of the shift will be a result of fat and water in these areas. So if you add spin density of fat and water here, you're going to have a bright signal. Now the same thing happens here. The fat is shifting away. Fat is shifting towards lower frequencies, so toward the right. But now you have this fat that's abutting the water object will move away from the water. And remember, water does not move because the magnet is tuned to water. So because fat has moved away, water has stayed stationary, you're left with a signal void in the areas where fat has moved away. And these banding artifacts are perpendicular to the direction of the frequency encoding axis or direction. So it's a little bit confusing, I think, in the direction. Hashemi says that the chemical shift artifact is in the direction of the frequency encoding, is the same direction as frequency encoding. It is. I mean, the fat does move in the direction of the frequency encoding axis, but the banding artifact itself is perpendicular to the frequency encoding direction. So now if we so I think I mentioned this before in the other video, if you now swap the frequency encoding direction to the up and down along the y-axis, okay, the banding artifacts will be along this border and along the top and the bottom border of the water object. And where they are, where the bright band is, and where the dark band is, depends on the polarity of the frequency encode gradient if it was in the y direction. Okay, so if you have questions about this, please let me know. I want to be sure that you understand this. The paper, this week's journal article, goes over this as well. If there's any confusion left on this, please let me know. Thank you very much.